All right, so we're gonna take our baking sheet, line that with parchment paper to get ready for our spider bites to go on there. And then again, once everyone has that set up, just give me a thumbs up and we will go on to the next step. All right, looks like everyone's doing good. Okay, so next we are going to take a microwave safe bowl. So that's anything that can go in the microwave. I like to use a glass measuring cup for this. But you could also use any like glass, ceramic bowl, anything like that. So I'm just gonna use one of these. So first we want to put to that one 12-ounce package of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can just take your whole pack and dump that into your bowl. And once you guys have your chocolate chips in your bowl, give me a thumbs up and we will measure our next ingredient. All right, looks like everyone's just about good with that. Anyone need any more time? Okay, looks like we're good. So now we're gonna do a half cup of peanut butter. You can also do almond butter, you can do any kind of nut butter, a non-nut butter like soy nut butter or sunflower butter if you were allergic to nuts. That way you could make this recipe for anyone, even if they are allergic, but we're gonna do a half cup. So for me, the easiest way to do this is I have my half cup here. And then I take a nice spatula that like bends very well and kind of scoop it from the jar and into the cup so I can make sure I fill it up. You could also, depending on what kind of jar you have, a lot of people like to melt peanut butter to make it a little easier so then it could pour. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that too. But I usually just do this because I don't want to melt the whole jar. So I'm just going to keep scooping from my jar until my half measuring cup is filled. And I want to try and make it as level as possible. Peanut butter is a little sticky, so it's not going to be perfect. But once it looks like this, you'll just add it right into the same bowl with your chocolate chips. Since I don't have my pretzels, I'm just going to put it back into my jar, but and then once everyone has their peanut butter in their bowl, just give me another thumbs up. All right, does everyone have their peanut butter and their chocolate chips in their bowl? All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to put that in the microwave. We're going to start with 1 minute. So we're going to set a timer for 1 minute in the microwave, and then after that minute, we're going to take it out, stir the two things together, and put it back in the microwave. All right, and then when your minute timer goes off, you're gonna wanna take that bowl out of the microwave, stir the chocolate chips and the peanut butter together really well, and then do it for 1 more minute, same thing. All right, how is everyone's mixture looking? Is it nice and smooth? Or if it's still thick, you can microwave it again for another 30 seconds to a minute. If anyone wants to show me what theirs looks like, I can tell you. Hello, that looks really good. I see Milagros and Yaharia. That looks good too. Awesome. All right, so when everyone's mixture is fully melted, just give me another thumbs up and we'll go on to the next step. Oh, I see William and Karina just took theirs out. Caitlin's working on hers. All right, does anyone need any more time to melt their chocolate and peanut butter? If you do, just give me a thumbs up. If that, then we'll give a little more time. All right, it looks like everyone's good. Okay, so we're gonna want to take a big bowl, kind of like this size. I have my eggs in here right now, but other than that, a nice big bowl. And you're gonna want to put your, I believe it's 6 cups of pretzels. I would say that's probably a whole bag. So if you wanted to just put the whole bag in, you could do that too. But you could also measure the 6 cups. So once everyone has your pretzels in a big bowl, give me another thumbs up. I see a nice big bowl of pretzels. Awesome. Okay, does everyone have their pretzels in their bowl? Okay. So now we're going to take that melted chocolate and peanut butter that we just microwaved and pour all of that onto our pretzels. So you want to make sure you scrape all of it out of there, and you're going to pour it on top of the pretzels. And then, depending on what you're comfortable with, you can use your spatula to mix it. You can put some gloves on and use your hands to mix it. But you want to make sure that the pretzels are nicely covered with that chocolate mixture. I see Milagros and Yaharia's mix. Awesome. That looks good. And then once everyone has their pretzels mixed with their chocolate and peanut butter, give me another thumbs up when we'll go to the last step for this recipe. I see Caitlin's all good. For anyone just joining us, we are working on the spider bites recipe right now, and we are on step 5. We are mixing our pretzel sticks with our melted chocolate and peanut butter mixture, and then shortly we're going to get started forming them on our tray. I see William and Karina are going gloves method. I like that. All right, how is everyone doing? Do we need some more time to mix? Okay, that's fine. Take your time. We'll give it another couple minutes before we start making the spiders. I see Kristen's also going glove method. I like it. Or mix glove and spatula. All right. Are we all good to start making some spiders? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. I think we're all set. Okay, so now You are gonna have to probably use your, or it might be easier to use your hands for this part, but if not, you can probably try and use like a spoon or something. And you're gonna grab a small handful. I'm gonna try and show the best I can with toothpicks that are not covered in chocolate. And you're gonna put them on your nice baking sheet that you have set with your parchment paper. And because you have the chocolate and the peanut butter on those pretzels, you can just very carefully, not even carefully, but just minimally make it look like a spider and have spiders have 8 legs. So you could do 8 pretzels, or you could do even a little bit more and have them have more legs, make it a little scarier, and just make it look somewhat like a spider. So you grab your handful, and then with the chocolate and the peanut butter, they'll stick together however you make it. So then you can just kind of arrange them a little bit so that they look spider-like. They won't really have much of a body since it's just pretzel sticks, but I'm gonna try and make legs. And it does not have to be perfect looking at all whatsoever, but you can try and make it look like he's got all his legs out. And then you can make them stand up a little bit too, like that, with their legs like this. Oh my God, you can't even see. That's my fault. So you just kind of use the peanut butter and the chocolate to your advantage to let them keep the mold. And you just drop them on there like that, move the legs around a little bit, make it look however creepy and scary you want it to look. And then you'll just do that with all of the pretzel mix. And I think if you did not want to touch it, you could definitely use a spoon to grab a small like chunk of pretzels and then do it on there. I'm going to bring up the picture too that I put on the recipe. So that's a good. See, I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen right now? So this kind of looks like they just arranged like I was saying, you kind of make the legs look like they're like spider legs. I don't know, I can't tell if this picture, if there's something underneath it, but we don't, the recipe didn't call for anything underneath it. And when I tested it, I just kind of laid them all out. They're not gonna look perfect, but I think as long as you have your legs arranged however you want, that's exactly what we're going for. You could even take a little bit of the chocolate too and pour it on top to make it stick. I'll leave that up too for a little bit. Looks like some people are getting their hands dirty. That's fun. You can always lick your fingers too afterwards. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to unmute or send in the chat. I know it's a little tricky because I can't demonstrate this myself, and I apologize. I did go to a few different stores to try and find these pretzels, and I could not. Oh, Ella, you guys had to go to the ethnic section to get Ukraine. Okay, I'm gonna have to try that and find a store and do that next time. I've never had Ukrainian pretzels. I'm sure they're delicious. And if anyone wants to show how they're doing, I would love to see. Feel free to take a snack too in the meantime while you're doing this because it's delicious. I see everyone grabbing nice handfuls of pretzels. And then just for timing purposes, since we have our other recipe to do as well. Oh, I see Milagros and Yahari's off. Those look really good. Awesome. Those are some nice spooky spiders that will taste very good. Perfect. Okay, so we can do this, I'm gonna say for like another 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can switch gears to our deviled eggs. That way I don't take up too much of your guys' Sunday to do the other recipe as well. But as long, I just want to make sure you guys get enough spiders made too. But if you have leftover mix, you could always use that to snack on in addition to your spiders. But I'm going to get my stuff ready for our eggs. All right. How is everyone doing? If we want to start finishing up our last few spiders so we can get ready to work on our Halloween deviled eggs, that would be great. If you're not, I know Ella isn't doing the eggs. If you're not, you're more than welcome to stay on and keep working on the spiders if you want to watch. But can you give me a thumbs up if you're going to make the eggs too? All right, I see Chris and I see Milagros and Yahira. Caitlin, are you guys making the eggs also? And then William and Karina, are you guys going to be making the deviled eggs too? If so, can you give me a thumbs up? Okay. I think we have. All right, let me take the recipe off. Thank you, Caitlin, for letting me know. So now we can get working on our eggs. Okay, so like I had mentioned in the beginning of class, we have 4 different colors, alternate or versions that we're going to try and do. But the first thing we're going to have to do is peel our eggs. So we have them all. Does everyone has their eggs boiled, right? They're already all boiled and we just have to peel them and cut and do all that stuff. Okay. Let me get my recipe. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to go, since we did, our eggs are already boiled, so we can quickly prepare our decorations. So if you're making the pumpkins, the only decoration for that is to make a little chive stem. Chives were the other thing I could not find. So I am going to make a little different there, and I have some rainbow sprinkles. So I'm going to pull out the green from my rainbow sprinkles and use those for my stems.
Miss Sophia, I don't quite hear you. You're muted.
You can't hear me? Can anyone else hear me?
You're kind of muted. I can't hear what else you're saying.
William, can you hear me now?
I don't hear. I actually see muted.
Can you hear me now?
Did you unmute yourself? Yeah.
Can anyone else hear me? Okay. If you guys, William and Karina, if you guys still can't hear me, just let me know. So for people who have their chives, you're just gonna want to cut the chives into stem-sized pieces. My sprinkles are a little small, so you could definitely make it a little bit bigger than that. But a chive, I feel like, is usually this big, so you could probably cut it into 5 or 6 pieces to get the size that you want.
Oh, you took care of this?
I'm just gonna set my few green sprinkles aside. And just to confirm, we're now on step 5. So we're just trying to, I'm following the order of the recipe. And we'll go from there. So once you have your chives cut, just give me a thumbs up. All right, is everyone all set with their chives? Thumbs up if you are. Okay, looks good. Is everyone here? I just want to double check first before I go through all of these. Is everyone making all 4 colors for the eggs? If you're making all 4 colors, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I see a couple people. If you're not, if you want, you can either unmute and tell me what colors you're making, or if you want to put it in the chat, you can tell me what colors you're making. Okay, I see Milagros in here. You don't have chives. Are you going to make the orange pumpkin ones? Okay. Do you have rainbow sprinkles like I have? No. If you don't, you do? Okay. If you want, I picked out the green sprinkles. You can do that as well. Or if you also don't have to put a stem on the pumpkin, that's totally fine because we're going to make it look like a pumpkin anyway. So then the next one we're going to prepare is for the purple monsters. So you can either, I know the recipe has olives. So if you want to do olives, you can slice those into a little slice. I have a jar of jalapenos that are already sliced. So I'm going to use those and cut out the middle for my eye. So I'm just taking out 4. If you don't have olives, you can use like if you have any sort of circular shape, like if you have a jalapeno on hand, you can cut that, or you can just use anything circular to make your eyes. It doesn't have to be like an olive. But I'm just gonna cut the middle out here. We're using capers for our mummy eyes, so you could use the capers for the purple monsters too. All right, so I have my 4 eyes. Once everyone has those done, give me another thumbs up. We can start working on our eggs. All right, is everyone ready to start peeling and cutting our eggs? If so, give me a thumbs up. All right. So the same way that we like to tap gently when we're cracking an egg, we're going to do the same thing here with our boiled eggs. Here, let me make sure you can see my cutting board. Okay, there we go. So I have one of my boiled eggs here. I'm going to tap around as if I'm same pressure, like I'm knocking on a door. I'm going to roll it a little bit. And then now my shell's all cracked, so I can start peeling that off. And I find sometimes that it's easiest too. I have my bowl, my ice water bath right next to me. If you submerge it in the water, the peel comes off pretty easily. So I'm just dipping it back and forth in the water to get the peel to come off. Thanks, Ella. Hope you enjoyed. All right, so now I have my whole peel off, so I have one egg done. So I'm gonna set that on the cutting board and we're gonna just keep doing that with all 12 of our eggs. So we're gonna knock and crack the shell, roll it a little bit, and then I'm putting it back in the water to help peel really easily. And I don't know if this happened to anyone else, but I think two of my eggs had opened a little bit when they were boiling, and that's okay. So I'm just gonna take the part that came out of the shell off and still do the same thing and see if we can still use the egg. If not, see, it's still pretty good and it stayed whole, so I'll keep using that. And if you don't have a bowl, your ice bath from when you boil the eggs with you can always just get a bowl of water to dunk them in. Sometimes they come off really easily like that in pretty much one piece, but that doesn't always happen. All right, I got 2 eggs left and then I should be good. All right, so I've got all my eggs peeled. How is everyone doing? Does anyone need any more time to peel the eggs, or are we all good to keep going? All right, I'm gonna give it just another minute. And if you were dipping your eggs in that water like I was, just give them a little dry. I'm just taking a paper towel and just rubbing it on top just to pick up any excess water. All right. How is everyone doing? Okay? All right. So next, what we're gonna do, we have to get the eggs or the yolk separated from the white. So we are going to take each one of our eggs and cut down the middle lengthwise. So now we have our yolks and our whites visible, and we're gonna take each half and gently pop out the yolk. So I just put it upside down over a bowl and just kind of hold a little bit and it just pops right out. So now you have your shell. So we're going to do that to all 12 of our eggs. So just slice down the middle. Sometimes the yolk will just come right out. And then I'm putting my egg halves, I have them on a tray here. So at the end of this, we should have 24 shells, like egg whites. And then we'll have our mixture to make with the egg yolks. I had one break a little bit. I'm going to try and salvage it. And if any of your shells get a little yolk on the side from cutting, you can just brush that right off into your bowl. So we can use it for the filling. All right, and then once everyone has all of their yolks and whites separated, give me another thumbs up. All right, perfect. Looks like everyone's good. All right, I'm gonna try and get us through this as quick as possible because I know it's almost 12 and I don't want to keep you guys super long. So we have our egg yolks here. We're gonna want to take a fork and just mash these yolks till we've got no big pieces. Right, so something like this, we can see there's a couple bigger pieces left, but mostly slice small sections, and we'll get rid of the bigger ones with the other stuff that we add. So once your eggs look like that, or your egg yolks look like that, give me another thumbs up. Okay, cool. Looks like everyone's doing good. So we'll move on to the next step. So then now we're going to add a 1/3 cup of mayo. So I'm going to grab my 1/3 cup. Just going to measure that. And then I'm going to take a spatula to get all of that out of there. And just to put that right in with the yolks. Then once you have your mayo added, give me another thumbs up. And we will do the next ingredient. Does everyone have their mayo added? All right, so now we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. So I'm just gonna dip my teaspoon right in there. I'm gonna do that one more time. And once you have your Dijon mustard added, give me another thumbs up.
Let's go. What else?
Oh yeah.
All right, does everyone have their mayo and their mustard added? Okay, now we're just gonna do a little bit of salt and pepper. Just gonna do a few scrunches of each. And we're just gonna mix until this is all combined. All right, and then once you guys have that mixed together, just let me know. Those both look really good. All right, and I think we lost a couple people for time. So what I want to see what you guys want to do, because we have 4 different variations that we could make, but I don't know if you guys have to head out soon. So do you want to just do one variation or do you want to do a few? You tell me. You can
One
unmute.
variation is good.
Just one? Is that what you said? I just didn't hear you guys.
1 or 2.
Okay, so we'll do a few. We'll do 2. How about that? Okay, so then we're gonna need 2 little bowls. And we'll do orange and purple. How about that? So we're gonna take our mixture and split it in between those 2 bowls. So now we've got our 2 different ones here. And we're gonna take some orange food coloring. Oh, never used the orange. We're gonna do a few drops of orange in one side. And then the other bowl, we're gonna do a few drops of purple. All right, So now I'm just gonna take my spatula. Give it a mix. Until all of that food coloring is mixed in. All right, so my orange looks pretty good. I'm gonna rinse this off quick. And do the same thing to the purple side. All right, so now we have our orange and our purple mix. Is everyone all set mixing? Or do we need any more time? All right, looks like we're good. So I know the recipe talks about using a piping bag and all that stuff, but we don't have to do that, especially for the sake of time. So we're just gonna take a spoon and then you grab each shell and spoon it in there into the hole. And then you can kind of flatten it out. And we're just gonna do that. We'll do half orange, half purple. And then I'm gonna use that spatula that we used to mix. I'm just gonna flatten those a little bit. I'm just gonna take each one and give it a flat surface. If it gets a little messy, it's usually easy to get it off the white. All right, then let me just do a few purple so I can show you guys the rest quickly. All right, so for the orange, we're gonna have pumpkins. So we're gonna you just take a toothpick. Let me just clean this one up a little bit. Okay, it's better. So we have our orange filled one, and I'm just gonna draw lines to make it look pumpkin-like. And then I'm gonna take my sprinkle, or if you have chives, you do the chives, and stick that right on top. So it's like a pumpkin. Just gonna clean that up a little bit. And then for the purple, those were purple monsters. So for that, really simple, just gonna put my eye on there. So we've got our purple one-eyed monster. So we have our orange pumpkins and our purple one-eyed monsters. If you wanted to make the other ones in the future, the green were spider's nests. So those were just green food coloring with some poppy seeds sprinkled on top. And the yellow were mummies. That one is a little, I decided not to do that one since we were pressed for time here, because that one involves a little more with the piping bag and everything. But those directions are in the sheet that I sent you, the recipe sheet that I sent you guys. So I'm gonna make a nice little plate here with a few for us to take our picture before we head off. Our pumpkin. Another monster. Once you guys have a few ready, if you want to take a picture before we head out, like we usually do, of our finished product, I just put some on a plate. And once you are all ready, let me know. I'll take a picture. All right, let me get set up. Oh yeah, and if you have your spider bites from before, get those too. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, cheese. Perfect. Oh, Kristen, I see you made all 4. Good for you. They look great. All right, thank you guys so much. I know this took a little bit longer than expected. Thanks for sticking around and for dealing with my ingredient mishaps. But again, next month will be Thanksgiving themed, so keep an eye out for that, and I will see you guys soon, okay? Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.